Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is Vlogs About Nothing. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your December evening to join your boy here, who's about to talk to you about this thing that you stick in your arm, and I've talked about before on the channel, and I don't think it's a good idea. So, ladies, gentlemen, they, them, put down the needles that are being sent to you from subscription service providers that aren't your doctor that claim that you can lose £1,000,000 in 10 days. You feel me? Obviously, a huge stretch. I'm not even sure if anything weighs £1,000,000. What a silly thing. I'm so American. Yeah, I have no idea about any sort of metric conversions. I all the content that I watch, especially younger people, they're able to, sort of give approximations via distance, both metric and American. Is that what you call it? Like, what do we call what we call stuff down here? But regardless, I just feel like, any type of intravenous thing, you feel me? Like, you probably shouldn't be putting stuff like into your body. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. Never want to be. Never wanted to be one, for the record. Anyways, talk about some overachievers. You feel me? Oh, goodness. Anyways, I mean, you go to school this whole entire time. You go to med school, you become a doctor, you're saddled with student debt, you essentially turn into a prescription salesman. I mean, why not just cut out all that middle junk, not get into all that debt, and just become a pharmaceutical tech? You feel me? Kind of like my boy on Superstore. Anyways, inside joke. If you've ever seen this show, Superstore, you know that there's a super cringe character on that show that is the pharmacy doctor. And, anyways, sounds like he has a good life, right? I mean, shout out to all the pharmacy techs and pharmacy doctors out there. Just how easy is it to, sell your soul for a nice salary so that you can dispense prescription medication from the comfort of being above other people, quite literally, looking down on them. You've earned it. Anyways, so, like Ozempic and all of these other medications that are being sold to, millennials and Gen Z, you feel me, and Alpha, like, don't do it. You know what I mean? Like, why? I understand. What I understand is the constant bullying that you may get from other people about being not super thin or skinny or whatever, but take it from this super skinny toothpick of a thing. You feel me? That, like, it's not all it's jazzed up to be. One, it can entirely not be healthy, just as it can be is equally unhealthy to be obese or these things like that. You feel me? But, like, I think that, like, putting a band-aid on wounds that require stitches is just something that is, again, not just only metaphorically and analogically speaking, it's just a band-aid, like a literal. It's just, okay, you might lose 80 pounds in 3 months or whatever, but I mean, it realistically, like, in the real world, you feel me? Like real world reality check type stuff. If you can't do that, it might not even be healthy to do that without the aid of putting a needle in your arm to starve yourself. You know what I mean? Like, or your leg or your toe or wherever you might be putting that. I feel a certain type of way when I see ads that are targeted on Hulu, and I can't imagine. I'm a 37-year-old man, and I see ads that are supposed to be targeted for my demographic, all talking about how I'm supposed to lose 100 pounds in 6 months with diet and exercise, plus putting a needle in my body. For a very exorbitant amount of money. These things are not cheap. I mean, real Ozempic, not generic stuff. That stuff's going for, like, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, let's all do fact checking, but last time I checked, that stuff was going for around $900 a dose. And I'm not, like, I can't make that stuff up. And I encourage people to seek out this information on their own and then realize that all of the generic stuff that you see being pushed on these ads is just what that is. It's just generic stuff. It's like, getting Cialis when you want Viagra. You feel me? I mean, yeah, on some level, Cialis, all those other things, and obviously it's an ED medication, and obviously I'm not saying or bringing that stuff up to be weird or inappropriate. I'm just saying that, like, technically that's still a generic version of what a lot of people can't afford, and that's name brand Viagra. Again, a very expensive drug because of the name and the reputation that it has for, I dare say, safety, quality control as it concerns the overall poisoning of other people. Again, don't listen to what I gotta say, you feel me? Like, I come from a background where anytime I was sick, my grandma would throw an egg on my stomach with a shot glass over it and heat that thing up. Like, I mean, like, you guys have heard of Rudolfo Anaya, Bless Me Ultima, La Curandera, things like that. La Curandera being generously borrowed from the Mexican culture and being integrated into northern New Mexican, Hispanic, indigenous cultural populations, you feel me? So, like, a La Curandera, if you didn't know what that is like, I think the literal translation is like a witch. No, that's bruja. So a la curandera is like a medicine woman, you feel me? And again, so, like, I'm not the dude. Just because I'm saying don't stick things in your body to make you lose weight, if that's what you gotta do, and if that's what you feel like you've, thought about, then, like, I mean, hey, I've done more dumb things on a random Saturday afternoon in my life than I have, can honestly say thought about something like that in terms of, like, and I brought up the bullying thing, and I need to be clear on that because I am a huge advocate for victims of bullying, right? Because I've been bullied before. I don't know. I don't like being bullied. You feel me? Like, it bothers me. It bothers me to see people get bullied. It bothers me when I get bullied. And, I just, because it's completely unfair and it's completely uncalled for. So I know what it's like to want to be a different person because other people don't like the way you are. All right? Like, I get it. Again, this is, again, coming from the same dude that had more acne on my face growing up as a preteen adult than, like, any kind of extra pepperoni pizza you'd ever see in your life. I mean, I still have the scars to prove it. You feel me? Like, I mean, it's not like I have not been a victim of bullying. You feel me? And so, again, on that larger concept, I get it. I get it. We all want to conform to a certain level. We all want to look a certain type of way, but we don't want to ruin our lives to do that. You shouldn't have to ruin your life for anybody to ever make you feel like you're of worth or that you can be accepted. If people don't provide you worth with the way that you are, or they don't accept you for who you are, find new people to vibe with. You feel me? Because they're the problem, and they will always be the problem. And I would say that those people project, and they are just angry, grumpy people. Have y'all noticed that there's just like a bunch of angry, grumpy people out there? Most of them boomers, and and a lot of Gen Xers, and I dare say that millennials are, right on up there with the whole JD Vance being the vice president of the free world and stuff. That specific example. Oh man, we are in for a ride these next 4 years. Thank you, America, for allowing us another opportunity to run our country straight into the ground. This is Albert with the Vlogs About Nothing, here to remind you that doing what people want you to do to be cool or fit in or conform is not always going to be the best decision that you can make. And I say this from experience. I say this because I don't want to be the guy sitting in this same spot in the future talking about how there's an epidemic of people that get, again, I'm not anybody, but, like, just different kinds of infections and hepatitis and staph infections. Again, all of these things have not happened. I don't know if they've happened. I'm just saying that there probably is some long-term, issues with the continued use of these OTC and prescribed intravenous. I don't know if that's the right word to say, right? And it just epidural and epiduralistic. What do we call things when you put yourself, like when you prick yourself, right? Like I mean, I just stay away from this stuff. I don't feel like it's the best way to lose weight. And again, I could be wrong. I don't know. I for sure. I have a sneaky suspicion that doing that to your body is going to do you no net positive for the long term. You feel me? And again, take it from somebody who has learned, right? Life is not about short term gain. It really isn't. I can't stress that enough to you. If there's one thing you should take away from me, it's just that. All things in life that are worth something are absolutely worth your time. They're absolutely worth the investment that it takes to get to where you need to be. You feel me? And unfortunately, there aren't any shortcuts. And the shortcuts exist, and you can take them and you can make that decision, but you got to be willing to live with the consequences of making that particular decision. And I feel like this short-term thinking to lose weight, to make yourself feel better, is just going to do you more harm in the future. So, like, I hope that you guys have a really good night, and I hope that you check out the link in the description below so that you can learn more about this issue from more qualified creators than myself. You know what I mean? Because again, this is vlogs about nothing. I've just spent 10 minutes of your time and my time talking about nothing. Nothing except a really big concept, and that's seriously consider what you're doing as it concerns your body. You feel me? And don't let subscription-based generic services that are trying to sell you a drug to stick into your body to lose weight, to have a shortcut, fool you into really understanding the larger concept of really, doing whatever you can in your best way on your own time to tackle those weight loss goals and different things like that, if that's what you so seek and wish to do. You feel me? I mean, again, I make at the end of this year I will have made 1,000 videos for free. I live my entire life like again at some point, but it's just the dedication and the consistency of little things and small victories that will eventually get you to where you want to go. It's just try to ease up on listening to all this jazz that you see on any type of media that wants you to get to where you want to be faster. If it's too good to be true, it most likely is. I hope that you guys have a really good night. Thank you for watching my show. Bye.